Let's bring all the concepts together with adding and subtracting of negatives. When we're adding and subtracting a bunch of numbers together, we want to make sure we always work from left to right. So let's take a look at a couple examples where we get to do that, working left to right. Let's start with -1 plus -10 plus 1 plus 3 plus 4. And as we work left to right, the first two numbers we see are -1 plus -10. Those are both negative, so we know we're going to end up with a lot more negatives. So 1 plus 10 is 11. So we have -11, and then the rest of the problem we'll copy, plus 1 plus 3 plus 4. The next two numbers are -11 plus 1. We have a positive and a negative here. So the bigger one's going to win. We're going to have negatives left over because there are more of them. And then we'll subtract out the 0 pairs. 11 minus 1 is 10. And we'll copy the plus 3 plus 4. Continuing to go down the line, we've got -10 plus 3. Again, there's more negatives here. And when we subtract out the 0 pairs, 10 minus 3 gives us 7. Don't forget the plus 4. And then finally combine those last two together. Again, there are still more negatives. And when we subtract out the 0 pairs, 7 minus 4 leaves us with 3. We have -3 for our final answer, working left to right. It works exactly the same way if we've got adding and subtracting mixed in together. Let's try 7 minus -9 minus 4 minus 1 minus -5. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to work left to right to solve this. So the first thing we're going to do is 7 minus the -9. Remember, when we subtract, we always add the opposite. So this is actually 7 plus 9. Well, 7 plus 9 is 16. And then we have -4 minus 1 minus -5. Next, we've got 16 minus 4, but we don't like to subtract, so we'll add the opposite, and it's 16 plus a -4. Because there are more positives this time, the positives will win when we subtract out the 0 pairs. 16 minus 4 is 12, and we're left with -1 minus a -5. Again, we'll take the minus and change it to add the opposite as we do the next two. We've got a positive and a negative now with that -1. The positive is bigger, so there'll be positives left over when we subtract out the 0 pairs. 12 minus 1 is 11 minus a -5. And finally, we can finish this off doing 11 minus a -5. We add the opposite, so now it's plus a +5. And positive 11 plus positive 15 ends up with a lot of positives. We have 16 of them. So we can add and subtract negatives working left to right. Subtraction changes to addition by adding the opposite. And then we just follow our rules for adding with negatives to get our final answer. It's your turn to practice a few of these. Good luck, and let your instructor know if you have any questions.